Turn the mic on. Truth in the building. No filters. No politics. No apologies. Dr. Ken, let's go. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fade. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Came from the bottom when survival was a law. Learn real quick what respect really costs. Everybody got opinions from afar, but they ain't never had to carry those scars. Built from pressure, discipline, pain. Some lose focus, some lose aim. Some sell souls just to chase that fame. I build my brick by brick, no shame. See the world get weak when it need a moment. Too many followers pretending they friends. Too many loudmouths scared to defend any real conviction when the pressure set in. But I stand on business, stand on code, stand on truth when the lies explode. Some fold up when the road gets cold. Some become legends when the story gets told. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground breaks. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken is on.
Truth don't sleep.
Frank Candid,
Straight to the point.
if nobody else gon' say it, I will. Yeah. Mic check, truth coming live again. Built for the storm, I don't hide from wind. Everybody tough when the lights are bright. Different story when it's dark outside at 10. I done seen pride make kings collapse. Seen weak minds get trapped in traps. Seen good people never fight back. Seen fake leaders disappear too fast. So I speak for the workers, speak for the tired, speak for the people still trying to climb higher. Speak for the ones still building through fire, trying to lead this world better than prior. And if the truth hurt, let it hurt a little. Growth don't happen staying safe in the middle. Either build your life or become a riddle. Either move the crowd or get played like fiddle. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Frank Candid.
Straight to the point, to the point.
Good day and welcome. Dr. Ken Harris with you here on Dr. Ken's Truth. Good to be here. Looks like the chat is filling up pretty full. Who's going on up in here? Yeah, I know RN Kwanda's on an airplane headed back to home or wherever that is. Who knows? She always says she's living in 9 different places. So just want to say, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Hey, what's up, SE? SE was first to the chat, so I have to give her a shout out. What's going on, SE? Good afternoon to you too. What's up, Kathleen? Kathleen said, good afternoon, Dr. Ken and all the fun chatters. All right. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real. Dr. Ken, salute. Baby on the plane, so I don't know if she's able. Then Todd, what's going on, Todd? Not really a city girl. Where you been? Where you been? You've been over on Sherwin's, haven't you? You've been over on the Truth. I get it. I understand. Anita, what's going on? Are you working today? I don't know if Anita has a job. Anita be everywhere, but yeah. JD the Poet, what's going on? Sir Chance. Hey. Good afternoon. Hey, y'all. Y'all see immediately when people meet, they stop talking to me. Hey, Anita. You see Todd's like, hi, Anita. Y'all see how that go? That's just is. I love connecting people and making sure people meet each other and put a face. Does anybody ever live up to Does anybody ever live up to the way you picture them in your mind? I wonder. Yes, I'm doing it from my home studio today because I thought I'd try out getting all this stuff working. Does my microphone work okay? That's what I need to know. Can you hear me good? Am I coming over clear? Is it, is there any background noise or drama or anything going on? So anyway, today's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to be talking about implicit bias for like literally all of the day. Then I'm going to do my top 5. JD said, Mike sounds nice. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Hold on a second. Okay. Y'all didn't need to hear that on the mic. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Kathleen said, clear. Did you know Clear, by the way? My ADHD kicked in. Clear is starting a concierge service where they meet you at the gate and take your bags in, whether you're leaving or coming. Wonder how much that costs. Quanta say, hey there, Dr. Ken, I'm boarding and heading back home to reality. Oh, this is a reality? Sincere Ronnie Ray Real, thanks for an amazing weekend as always. What does as always mean? Wait a minute, what's going on with y'all? Uh-oh. And by the way, I have a green screen and a background. That's why you see the in and out. I keep tweaking it to get it perfect, but what's going on with y'all? RM, Kawanda, and Sincere Ronnie Ray. Okay, I'm just kidding. There are a couple. So I'll let them out that first. I was probably the last one to find out. I'm sure the chat knew. I was the only one that didn't know. So, last is me. Todd said, sounds great. Anita said, I guess I missed my shout out yesterday. Yes, you did. So if you went back and listened, I gave everybody a shout out who was hanging out with me at the place, the hideout, the what are we gonna call that place? We don't put the name in the chat, but what are we gonna call that place? The secret hideout? Let me see. So if this is study hall, what are we gonna call that? So somebody come up with a good name. Come up with a good name. Let's see what we can do. Undisclosed location. Okay. We'll call it the undisclosed location. He's in a bunker in an undisclosed location. Anita said, I'm at work. She ain't got no job. She lying. She ain't got no job. I'm just kidding. She ain't got no job. Just saying. Todd said, great couple. Great couple of what? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just having fun. It's a great Tuesday. It's good. The sun is out. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. I wish it was hot because then I could turn on the air and just stay warm. That didn't make any sense. Turn on the air and stay cool. But then the breeze comes through and then it's too cold outside. It just goes back and forth. 71 degrees, Milwaukee weather, 71 degrees. The high today was 72. Low's going to be 58. Sunset hits at about 8:35 again tonight. So guess it won't be too bad. Yes, I have another meeting after this one. So, hey, Lucretia, what's going on? How are you? Good to see you. So, let me see. A couple things to remind you of. Black Book Thursday is coming up. So we're going to be talking to B. Libra Caffelli, who is the author of the book Housing Development. So you need to really get that book if you haven't gotten it already. We're going to go through chapter 1 and then the conclusions that he has. I put some advertising out on it on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So, if you see it, it pops by, Quanda said, Bestie, Lucretia, you miss me. Now you have to make it up to me. Does that mean get on a plane and go to the undisclosed location or down in Miami somewhere? Or anyway, I got the YouTube chat. We're going to be talking about that in the top 5. Your boy gone. So that's that. So the poll question for the day is, how do you feel about the Giannis Portis trade? And I gave you 3. I think I gave you 4 selections. Happy, sad, don't care, or just bye. So People have already started taking a people have already started taking a poll. So yeah. Make sure you like the podcast, the chat, the whatever you call it, YouTube. Make sure you click thumbs up. Make sure you share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to it. And also to support us, of course, go to Dr. Ken's Truth Swag. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Ken's Truth Swag or Dr. Ken's Swag. See, I keep writing the wrong thing in here. I don't understand why it never changes. Anyway, Dr. Ken's Swag, all one word, .printify.me. Okay? So just go to that and it'll give you everything you need. Dr. Ken's Swag, .printify.me. See if you see something you like, just make sure you hit it. Go in and get it. Everything will be fine. Who else is up in here? Did I see Babar? Hey, what's up, Babar? Wait a minute. Lucretia said, Kawanda, I got you next time. You said that this time. You said you was going to get her this time. One of the reasons she came here was to see you. She probably came to see Sincere, but she wasn't thinking about you. She was here to see. Oh, let me quit. That's terrible. But, I said it before. In the past, people could disagree, argue their point, shake hands, move on. Today, we kind of argue a lot, and we start to get beside ourselves. Disagreements become feuds. People don't eat. We just had a Father's Day shooting. 25-year-old shot his 52-year-old father out in, what was it, New Berlin? Somewhere out there. It's all out war. Why is that? Because we don't want to be curious about anything. I have to be certain I'm right, and that's it. We don't listen. We just wait for our turn to talk. And we think disagreement between people is like utter and total disrespect. Now, we got so many things that are going on that I don't understand what it is that's causing all the trouble. One of the issues is that we don't understand that, what's the word I'm looking for? Difference is okay. Not getting along is actually okay. I think one of the things we don't know and we don't understand about each other is we have bias. And it's called implicit bias. Now, we've heard about it. We've talked about it. It's everybody has bias. It's automatic, but it's not racism. It's just bias. And I think many times we assume that people are being racist when actually it's just implicit bias. Doesn't mean they hate you. Doesn't mean they don't like you. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It simply means that our brains make assumptions based on our experience, our exposure, our culture, our media, the family, the everything, repetition, things we've gone through a lot of times. It's a mental shortcut system that helps us process information really fast. The problem is the shortcut isn't always accurate. So with the white person that sees the black person and gets scared, implicit bias, not necessarily hatred, not necessarily racism. The black person that always hates all white people are all cops. It's not hatred. It's not racism. It's implicit bias. Think about it this way. If I show you a picture of a teenager walking in a hoodie, what's the first thing you think? If you're walking down the street and three black males are walking towards you versus three white males, do you cross the street? The immediate reaction you have should tell you something. Stories you've been told, images you've absorbed on TV, things you've heard on the radio, things you watch on YouTube. The challenge isn't that implicit bias affects just individuals. It affects institutions, hiring decisions, who gets promoted. It affects who receives the benefit of the doubt. It probably helped the Marquette student get off who was drunk driving and killed 2 people. It affects discipline in schools, lending decisions at a bank, customer service, how we interpret somebody else's behavior. 2 people can do the exact same thing and receive completely different reactions from completely different people because of assumptions that we've attached to the age, the race, the gender, the neighborhood, the clothes, the accent they use, the occupation, the appearance, all those things about people. But here's where it goes off the rails. One side says implicit bias explains everything. The other side says it explains nothing. I think both sides are wrong. Implicit bias is real, but it's not an excuse for personal responsibility to go to the side. It's at the same time, personal responsibility doesn't really eliminate the existence of bias. I mean, like, both things can be true at the same time. A person can work hard and still encounter bias, and a person can face bias and still make dumb decisions. Life is complicated. It's contrary. It's contradictory. Real life rarely fits into the neat box that we create in our lives. This lesson applies everywhere in your life. So before you judge somebody, ask yourself, what do you really know? What are you assuming? Before you dismiss somebody's experience, ask yourself, is it possible their experience is different from yours? Before you make a decision about a person, ask yourself, would I react the same way if somebody else did the same thing to me? Those aren't difficult questions. Those are hard questions. But if you want to grow, you got to ask yourself the hard question. The goal really isn't eliminating bias. You can't. It's impossible. The goal is becoming aware of them. Awareness creates accountability, and accountability to yourself, not others, but to yourself, creates better decision-making for you. Better decisions, better outcomes. When you make better decisions, the Black community improves as a whole. It's an individual thing. That's why I shun collectivism and we got to do it as a collective, because that doesn't seem to work. The truth is that implicit bias is not a problem that belongs to one race or one profession like cops or one political party, Republican or Democrat, or one generation, boomers or Gen Z. It belongs to everybody, all of us, because we're human. The question isn't whether you have biases. The question you have to ask yourself is whether you're willing to examine one thing. You. And that's my view, frank, candid, and I would say straight to the point. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth. We'll be right back. What up, though? Who's back? I'm back. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth. Want to say thank you for being here on YouTube and Spotify. Thank you for hanging out with me on this day. 71 degrees, sun is out, slight cool breeze. Folks on airplanes try to get out here. Let me check this chat before I get back to what it was I was doing. Let me see where I left off. Todd say, I can't wait till the next meetup. Lucretia, she missed it. Oh well. She said, I can't wait till the next meetup. So Ronnie Ray Real said in Benjamin's voice, amazing. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Okay, get off this bestie thing, Lucretia. You and Quanda, get off that. Get off that. Todd and Anita. Yep. So it was me, Anita. Let me see who came first. It was me and Todd. Then Anita showed up. And then I'm trying to debate about was I going to say something about what she did, but I'm not going to say what she did. Let me just say they were stuck in traffic and they finally made it. And RN Kawanda and Sincere Ronnie Ray Real. So it was a good time. What I would like to do is make sure. Now I'm calling her out because evidently her plane hasn't taken off yet. Let's do this for Sincere and Ronnie Ray Real. First of all, let's give Sincere some support because he's supporting Kwanda because Kwanda's in school. She's got 2 years to finish her Bachelor of Science in Nursing. She's down in Miami. And so she needs to lock down and get on point. Usually she has class on certain days of the week. She's going to school year round, taking a class at a time. She better speed that up, by the way. Taking a class at a time and just rocking it. And she's doing great. Let's stay on her. Let's stay on her to the point where she gets tired of us harassing her. And I got a story about college coming up later, but we'll talk about that in my top 5. But we have to stay on each other. And if you know of any people who need support, you know, any people that want to have a positive conversation where there's not a lot of profanity and cussing and acting a fool and calling in and all that. I did say June, but I'm going to wait till July. I'm going to try to take some calls and see if we can, because when I plug in my system, there's an audio delay between YouTube and here. And so I want to make sure I may have to change some software and do some things or just take some calls cold and see what happens. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll test it next week. I don't know. I'm scared to because y'all be talking crazy. Ooh, Lord. But anyway, not really. Anita said, not really city girl, long time, no chat. Babar with his pink wave. I don't know what that's about. Sincere told Kwanda, guess what you forgot? Uh-oh. I don't even want to know. Babar said, wow. Todd said it was sad to see him go, but fortunately it had to happen. Yeah, your boy. We'll get into that. I don't know. He's gone. So let him go. Him and Bobby Portis. That was up. Kwanda said, and I came to Father's Day with my man while you whispering, Dr. Ken. Because I always whisper. Isn't that silly when people do that? Anyway, Sincere said, I hate he left, but hey, I just want to see the return on his payoff, especially with Hero. Okay. Kwanda said, I love my AirPods. Don't you hate when you do that? Let me tell you what happens to me. I probably shouldn't admit this on live YouTube. I've admitted other things people said I shouldn't. So every time I go to Arizona, I go to the same cigar lounge. And when I go to the cigar lounge, yeah, I'll get back to the YouTube chat. And every time I go to the lounge and I'm leaving, somehow I have my earbuds on and I'm walking across the way, and it's a huge parking lot and it's cut off to traffic. So there's no traffic. The only traffic there is traffic that's in the parking lot. And so there's usually no traffic. And And there's like a street, but it's really not a street. It's like Mayfair Collection, right? You can drive down the way and it's like a street, but it's on a private parking lot. But it looks like a street. It's got a curb and all that stuff. And I'm driving. And every time I step out, I go, oh, let me take off my earpods because I tend to drop them and lose them. So I've got a couple sets of AirPods, whatever, Apple, like things, that I only have one. And I usually have like, I think I can take a left and a right and put it in the case and sync it and they'll both work. I don't know. But about 3 times in a row, I was leaving and I stepped down off the curb and I don't catch myself. So I'm usually taking out my case to put one in and I step down and the other one falls out. And I go, oh, and I don't try to catch it because, if you try to catch it, bad things happen. But I'm still taking a step. The AirPod would hit my foot, scatter across the street, and go into a sewer. Now, the first time it happened, I was like, that's life. I got in the car, drove to Target, went and got some AirPods. No big deal. A couple months later, second time it happens, I'm like, okay, this is dumb. So last time I was there was in May. Yep, I did it. I have a brand new pair of AirPods and I'm leaving out. And I put both of them in, right? And I close it inside. And I put it in my pocket. And I go walking across the street and I'm feeling full of myself. And as I walk, I take my keys out. And I pull my keys out. And guess what fell out? My AirPods. And they hit. And when I saw it, you know how you see something falling and you can't do anything about it and you can't move fast enough? You just watch it and it fell out of my pocket and it hit the ground and it hit. And both AirPods shot out. And I watched them as they shot across the street and both went in the sewer. Because it's one of those sewers that's long. Because when they get rain out there, it rains really bad, and then you get dirt and sand and all that crap in the rain. So they get, it's the height of the curb line, and it's a pretty it's an extra size curb, and it runs maybe about 6 feet. So now I got an empty case with no AirPods. So when I got home, I had to buy a new pair. So it's pair number 4 in over the course of a year. And I'm upset about it. Guess what I want for Christmas? I'm just saying. I need some extra pairs, so when I lose them, I can just throw the case away and just sync the new ones and be done. No, I don't know. Babar said wired headphones are the best. Yeah, they are. They sound better. They're crisper, but they're inconvenient. Have you ever dropped your AirPods on a plane? Have you ever dropped them on a plane? I dropped them on a plane, and it just... And I used to wonder, why is it they tell you don't if you drop something to tell the stewardess, because you can never find it. You'll end up tearing up the... Yeah, I'll never do that again. Let me get back. All that because of AirPods. Where is Curly Q? I haven't seen Curly Q in a minute. Jasmine said, I want to go to a meetup. Well, we told you how to go to a meetup. You didn't take advantage of it. So, yeah. Jasmine said, I'd be heated. Well, there's nothing you can do. My wired earbuds, SE, will be just fine after hearing this story. Well, forget you too. What does triple R mean? I don't know what triple R means, Todd. You put that in here the other day as well. I don't know what that means. Triple R, I got to catch up on my E. Babar said wired headphones are the best. I don't know. They're a pain because I get everything jumbled up. Because, when you have ADHD, you might forget something. So you save everything. And so you put everything in your bag, and your bag ends up supposed to be this thin, and it ends up being this thick. And you got one bag, and then you need two. And then you got your headphones and your this and your that and your computer and this and that. And next thing my wired headphones look like jumbled. Oh, Ronnie Ray Real, Triple R. Okay, then why don't you just type RRR? It's less letters than TRIPLE space R. I'm just saying. I'm just being efficient. I just don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. All right. Implicit bias. What is this nonsense about? What is implicit bias about? Let me share my screen. What am I going to share it with? There it is. All right. Let's see if this works. Did that work? No, it didn't work. Let me add it. Oh, let me do that. Let me add it. There we go. There we go. All right. So this is a presentation I had done a while ago, and I kind of edited it for us here. We got to call this, I'm sorry, Quanda would have killed me, in study hall. And I want to talk about it. So what are we talking about? I want to give you information and knowledge to be aware of some of the things we do naturally that we don't necessarily know that we do. The acceptance of people, Sincere said SRRR. Okay. Thank you for that. As he said, I got $20 JVC Bluetooth Buzz, and I won't care if I drop them. They probably don't work long either. I'm just saying. I'm an Apple guy. I'm sorry. So y'all got me off. Natural processes affect your neutrality, decision making, and actions. It really affects what you do, and we pretend like it doesn't, but it really does. Things we have in acceptance with other people. You believe that, right? You got it, right? Okay. That's what that is. And so Jennifer Eberhardt, who wrote a great book, you might want to look her up, said bias, even when we're not conscious of it, has consequences that we need to understand and mitigate. And the stereotypic associations we carry in our heads can affect how we perceive people, whether or not they're a threat or not, how we think, whether you like somebody or you don't, and the actions we take, whether or not you respond to their words or action. We've all done it. We have all done it. We have all responded that way. Got to be honest with yourself. So let's jump into some things. What's equity? We keep talking about bias, but one of the things we always have to go after is equity. So in light of implicit bias and all of your interactions, your behaviors, your thoughts, your experiences, your upbringing, what your parents told you, what your friends told you, what you heard, what you read, what you learned. We've never really dived into equity. We talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, but what is that? Right? Because those are some of the things that we were fighting. We use that to fight against implicit bias in other people, when the easiest way to do that is to fight in ourselves. If you want to improve equity, you want to promote justice, if you want to improve it, it's to promote justice, impartiality, and fairness within the procedures, processes, and distribution of resources by institutions or systems. Tackling equity issues requires an understanding of the underlying or root cause of outcome disparities in our society. Implicit bias, believe it or not, is one of them. Then what is equality? What it aims to do is that all individuals have equal opportunities to succeed. That's it. This is what I've tried to explain to some of my white friends, and they just don't understand it. In their mind, white people are inherently smarter. inherently better. But isn't that what black people think about black people? That black people are inherently smarter and inherently better? I'm just saying. And it prevents individuals from being discriminated against or treated differently due to certain personality or physical characteristics, or if you have some type of disability, or I don't think they call it disability anymore, but I'm a boomer, so I can do what I want. But then there's diversity. Many people don't understand diversity. They go, oh, okay, it's not diversity. Oh, I hate diversity. It's about appreciating differences between individuals. And there's diversity in the black community as well. And in context with the workplace, ensuring that each of these varying attributes and characteristics are valued. Now, that's where I go off the rails with diversity. I don't know if I can value something in other people. I can appreciate a woman. I can like a woman. I can love a woman, but I can't value because I'm not a woman. I think women value other women, men value other men. But when you talk about value, you have to have that yourself. You have to bring that. And so when you throw it in diversity, I value that. Well, I don't. I might tolerate it. I'm not valuing it. But that's just me. That's just me. That's just me. But what is inclusion? It's kind of close to diversity, but it's really not. The professional HR organization defines it as the achievement of a work environment in which all individuals are treated fairly and respectfully, have equal access to opportunities and resources, and can contribute fully to the organization's success. If we really want to have an inclusive environment, an inclusive country, these are the things we have to work towards. For some reason, this current administration seems to think that all these are bad things. But then let's talk about race. This is something that a lot of people know, but they really don't know. There is no, first of all, everybody acknowledges race. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all that. We expect race and ethnicity and all that. We acknowledge all that. But you also have to understand at the same time, they're not mutually exclusive. They can both be correct at the same time. There's no scientific basis for race. 99.9% of humans have nearly the same identical genes. We're all one race, human. Race is a social construct used to divide people into groups. It makes it easier. It makes it, it gives you the ability to understand where people come from because there are generalities you can make about it, right? And that becomes implicit bias. Is it good? Is it bad? Depends on how it's used. Over time, societies use race to create systems of power and justify oppression. We saw that with slavery. We saw that with Native Americans. We saw it with Hispanics. We saw this with blacks. We saw it with covenants in relation to who could live where, who could buy what, sundown laws, things of that nature. So where does identity play a part? Qualities, beliefs, personality, how you look, and or expressions that a person or group is identified by. It's collective identity, Black. It's preeminent in sociology, self-identity, emphasized in psychology. You can identify as Black and not look Black. You can identify as Hispanic but not look Hispanic or speak Spanish. You can identify as a man today based on what we're to believe and be a woman. Psychological identity relates to self-image, your mental model of yourself, how you see yourself, your self-esteem, your individuality, how you walk, how you talk, how you act, how you respond, how you carry yourself, right? So then social identity is intergroup behavior, right? How you act around Black people. Black people act different when there's a white person in the group. That group that met up because Todd was there acted slightly different from the way that they might normally by virtue of it was an open group. Social identity theory is described as a theory that predicts certain in-group behaviors on the basis of group status differences, the perceived legitimacy and stability of those status differences, and the perceived ability to move from one group to another. So while I was there, what groups was I moving through? I was moving as a man, as a cop, because Todd has a law enforcement background, and as Black with the other people there. Todd was moving between cop, and I'm making an assumption here, cop, male, and whatever experiences he's had with Black people. Anita, I don't know who she was. She was just who she was. But Anita was a Black female, a Black and human, I guess. I don't know. Until Quanda got there. And then that was that other connection she made. So now she could be a Black woman. You know, Sincere could be a male, Black, but his interaction with me was, watch this, cool, but didn't venture heavily into Black. Why is that? The change? Because they were aware of their surroundings. That was a great experiment in self-awareness. Everybody was aware that they wanted to present themselves in a certain way. The personality was there. Quanda's personality, Sincere's personality, laid back, kind of cool, kind of smooth, you know, causing no problems, everything cool. You could see that in him. You could see Todd, you know, working the room. How's everybody doing the cop thing? Okay, that person, that person, that. Okay, got it. You know, brain moving, right? That's just the way people are. Anita's very observant. She just kind of sat there. We jump in the conversation and then jump out because we adjust ourselves based on the group we're in. That's not a bad thing. If anything, it's a good thing. But then what about this thing? What about bias? Well, social stereotypes about certain groups of people that individuals form outside of their own conscious awareness. You've been around the Black person when a white person showed up and they were like, okay, well, we're going to stop talking. I had somebody make a comment to my daughter. My son-in-law is a white male. I've said that on the radio before. Love him to pieces. And we were at their engagement party and somebody made a comment. A Black female made a comment to my Black female daughter, who's younger. Hope you make something to the effect of, hope you make a better choice. And at first she was like, man, what? You make a better choice? And then she realized, oh, you're talking about the fact that he was white. She's supposed to marry somebody Black. I was like, wow. Everybody holds unconscious beliefs about various social and identity groups, and the biases stem from their tendency to organize social worlds by categorizing. To tell other people, you don't belong with that person, you belong with this person. You don't belong in this group, you belong with that group. You did it in high school. This group eats with that group. The football players ate together, but even in the football players, the Black football players ate with the white football players didn't eat together. And then they had to force them to eat together. Well, if you're an offensive lineman, then everybody on the offense got to eat together. But then even when they eat together, the Black and the white and Hispanic divided up. Hispanic kind of had to choose. Am I going to sit with the white guys, sit with the Black? Like it's like we do it in every single thing we do. Unconscious or implicit bias is far more prevalent than just conscious prejudice and often incompatible with your conscious values. You may love everybody, but still act a certain way around certain people because of what you've been taught. Certain scenarios can activate unconscious attitudes and beliefs. You run up on a scene and you see a Black man holding a white guy down, and you automatically think the Black guy's the robber when in fact the Black guy's a cop. For example, another example, biases may be more prevalent when multitasking or working under time pressure. When you're under pressure, you do what I call you short to ground. You simply do what the easiest thing is. Do what you're familiar with. And that can be good and that can be bad. So how do you determine it? So let me ask you a question. All right, now put in the chat. Everybody answer in the chat. A bat and a ball costs $1.10 total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Put your answer in. Don't think about it. Take 5 seconds and then answer it. Just throw it in the chat. It's a test. Come on now. I'm watching YouTubes. I'm watching y'all. Which one? 10 cents, 5 cents, $1, or it kind of beats the crap out of me. Seeing everybody pause. They're like, I don't know. I don't know. Can anybody tell me the right answer? Don't use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and all that. Don't do none of that. Gemini only works in Gmail anyway. Put the answer in. Because somebody said D beats the crap out of me. Quanda said 5 cents. Bye-bye. Y'all Googled it. Y'all took too long. E. Wright said C, $1. What's the answer? 5 cents. Why is it 5 cents? Because had you stopped and you were decent at math, you would have been able to put the calculation X plus parentheses X plus $1 parentheses equals $1.10, and then divide it out. It's really simple, but your brain will automatically go to what looks right. And so most people choose 10 cents because it's $1 more. $1 more than 10 is 10. When in fact, it's not. But that's how fast your brain works. Can you imagine if that's the way it works with math? What do you think it does with people? It makes an instant declaration about that person based on your own experience. We make assumptions that Asians are good at math, right? Ain't that what we do? That black people are criminals. That being Latino or Latina, you're either illegal or you're not a citizen or you're a criminal. And by the way, when I was growing up, black people had guns. Let me see, what was it? Black people carried guns. Hispanics carried knives. And white people stole your money. We'll just say. Blondes, being blonde equals, ditzy blonde, right? You understand. You get it. So I was going to ask you 6 questions, but I'm going to skip that. I'm not attacking your character, but understand something. Each and every person has biases that affects their perception. But a lot of it is subconscious. It's based on how we brought up. I heard my grandmother say all the time she hated white people. She was from Alabama. They came in the Great Migration in the 40s because they had to get away, because they were killing people and lynching people. Some may be contrary to our self-image. I knew a white guy who was married to a Latina woman, Mexican, hated Mexican men. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why. So one day I asked, I said, hey, dude, why do you treat Hispanic men so bad? You're just mean. He said, I don't know. He said, and the reason I don't know, my wife's Hispanic. I have a son who's half white, half Hispanic. But something about the men just makes me mad. I'm like, well, you need to do something about that. Anyway, it's about looking to understand something and not use the first thing that pops in your mind. You need a bit of a Rolodex to figure out what's going on. You need to take in as much information as possible before you make a decision about a person or an instance. But it's a fact of the human brain. We all have implicit bias. Now, I dare say 90% of it can be washed away by simply accepting the fact that you have implicit bias. Or should I say you? Should I say we? So we use assumptions and generalizations. We do it every day. We take shortcuts to make a decision when we have to assess a person or a task. Okay, we got to do this, 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 and this. And your brain out like, okay, I'm going to do this. You have no idea what to do. Somebody told you to do something you've never done before, and you start figuring out a way to do it. It might be wrong. Dealing with a large group. You walk in an auditorium, you look around the group. It's all black young kids, middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. You start saying to yourself, I know what to do here, and you really don't. When you want to understand something, and if you're under stress, rushed, or emotional, you are going to shortcut everything and go with what your experience tells you. And I'm pretty sure 10 times out of 10, you're wrong. Situations matter in your decision making in every single time you make a decision. What's going on? If you're rushed, isn't it amazing how you, Kwanda would appreciate this, when you take your time and you actually do your job and do your homework, you get an A on a paper. And when you rush, not so much. The decision you make to not do your work and go to a movie or watch TV and do your work, every decision, well, I could do it. You talk yourself into things. Why? Because you've done it before. Well, I did it before, I can do it again. Not knowing the paper might be due sooner than you thought, and now you're stuck. So true or false? In the chat, can you tell the race of a person by their name? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can you tell the race of a person by their name? SC said no. Well, today you can't. Today you can't. But I would tell you, 10 years ago, you could tell. You could tell. You could tell. There were certain names that were indigenous to race, culture, religion. Jasmine said not anymore. No, today you can't. I met a white Shamiqua. I mean, both parents were white. Let me see. We have additives to mostly black names, right? Kawanda. Let me see. I just used that. I just threw that out there. Let me see. Anita. That's a white name. Is it? I don't know. Is it? Todd. It's a white guy. But I know a black guy named Todd. I've only known 2 black guys named Todd in my entire life. But I know like 5 to 8 Todds that are all white. What about Kenneth? It's pretty interchangeable. Sounds American, right? In the middle. Latrell, it's automatically a black guy, right? Maybe. Not today, though. Jasmine said Anita Baker. Anita Bryant, old school TV lady, used to do all the cooking and stuff. Well, believe it or not, University of Chicago study showed employers were 50% more likely to call people with white-sounding names for interviews versus traditional African-American names. If you have a name that sounds white, the odds of you getting called back for a job go up. It's implicit bias. It's not racism. People tend to do things that they're comfortable with. It just is what it is. It is. And so, I mean, other things can break that. Your own personal proclivities. If you like loud music, if you like this, if you like that, I'm going here, not there. I'm going to do this, not that. But for the most part, when we hear a name, we kind of go, it's a black person. It just is what it is. All right. True or false? Women with brown hair earn higher salaries than women with blonde hair. True or false? I wonder, true or false? Anita said, Anita is common in other. Okay, stop being defensive, Anita. We just harassing you. We just harassing you. True or false? Women with brown hair earn higher salaries than women with blonde hair. Kwanda says, send me these slides. Okay. I'll email them to you. All right. So Babar said false. E. Wright said true. Anita just laughed. Jasmine said true. Anita said false. That's enough. Answer, false. A study found blonde women made 7% more than brown-haired women. Why is that? Kathleen said false. Why is that? Many times, women that are blonde are underestimated, and their work speaks for themselves. And if you're in an environment that's inclusive, that's equitable, you can promote it, and you make more money. But because we go through life to the point where we watch movies and we have blondes versus brunettes. So they've done studies and they've actually found. Jasmine said, what? Yep. Believe it or not. True or false? People with accents are less trusted. Would you give your money to an investment advisor? No, I'll go one better. Would you trust the cop more if he just spoke the King's English, good old Midwestern, or somebody from the Deep South, from Mississippi? Blonde is a color of preference, more attractive, I think. I disagree, but go ahead. True or false? People with accents are trusted less. True or false? And don't forget the poll question we have. How do you feel about Giannis and Portis being traded? Happy, sad, don't care, or bye. So, yeah. Anita said it depends on the era. Stop qualifying your answer and just answer the question, Anita. My goodness. Don't you hate educated people? Boy, I tell you, they just... But people with accents are less trusted, are they? True or false? Are they less trusted? Yes. Depending on where you're from, they're less trusted. That's why people that read the news all sound alike. They have a Midwestern, or they go to a school in the Midwest so they can speak like they're from the Midwest, because we speak slow and clear and we articulate our words. Can you imagine somebody from New York or from Jersey doing the news? Woo! Or somebody from the South? You couldn't understand them. Or somebody from the West? Or from England, for that matter. I don't know. But think about that. People that are clear, that speak clearly. The blonde-haired women get out of parking tickets more, as Lucretia. How do you know that, Lucretia? That's her implicit bias. True or false? Black English is bad English, and everybody should speak English language clearly so we all understand each other. True or false? You know what I'm saying? Black English is bad English. True or false? Because it was funny, Saturday, it wasn't no Black English. Weird. Strange. Well, let me speed through this. It's false. Italian has Central Italian, Neapolitan Italian, and Sicilian. There's High and Low German. There's French versus Haitian Creole. And there's another type of Creole that they speak in New Orleans. But when it comes to Black language or Ebonics, that's a sub-language of English, they pretty much reject it. And it's unfortunate. People who understand discrimination and prejudice are wrong and do not have implicit bias. True or false? False. They do. So how do you understand it? If 5 machines made 5 gadgets in 5 minutes, how much time would it take for 100 machines to make 100 gadgets? Most people would say 100 minutes, when in fact, it's the same. 5 minutes, because they all make them at the same time. But if you go after the quickest thing in your mind, that's what you do. So consider this. Being similar means safe. That's why we live in the neighborhoods we live in. We live in the communities we do. Safe equals predictability. Them same black guys going to roll down the street, bumping their music, and they bump it every day at 7 o'clock. So you feel comfortable. Everything is safe. We tend to want to be with others who are similar than us and our communities and our race. And implicit bias causes us to make wrong assumptions based on stereotyping, believe it or not. So then, how do you become aware of your own implicit bias? Think about how people you react to recently. Think about how you react to people and think about how they react to you. When people make you feel uncomfortable, the people that make you happy, why? Go to places that are different. Go eat in a Cuban restaurant if you're black. Go eat in a soul food restaurant if you're white. Talk to people whose job description is different from yours. People that are the janitor, people that are the barista, right? True or false, implicit bias is only bad when the assumption about a person involves a negative trait. And that's false. Reflecting on how you interact with new people can cause you to become aware of your bias. Definitely. Why do I feel that way? Asking yourself those questions. And so it's an association you're making. It's a cognitive, you're using your brain and you're linking two things together that may not link together. Your brain does all the time. If I say little red, what do you say? You either said little red schoolhouse, little red wagon, little red, right? Your brain automatically goes to it. When one concept is primed, you automatically react the same, the way that you act. Is it always right? Usually, but how do you personally address implicit bias? How do you do that? Little Red of Fifth and Keith. You need to quit. And so those are just some things that I thought I'd throw out there today, because we tend to always look at those things as something that we know, when in fact we're just piling together information and we know absolutely nothing about this other person, nothing about this other thing. So just thought I'd throw it out. If you want the PowerPoint, just hit me and I'll shoot it to you. drkenstruth@gmail.com. And this one is for Quanda and Sincere and for everybody that was in the group. I get to say it in real time. Top 5 at 5 up next. We're back. Y'all remember that TV show, that movie, the little girl? We're back. Poltergeist. Scared the snot out of me. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth right here on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We want to say thank you for being here this evening. Yeah, let me check the weather because I know y'all be crying about the weather. Let me refresh it so y'all don't go. Babar said today's weather currently 72 degrees on land. Expect rain tomorrow. Did anybody ask you, Babar? 70 degrees. I got 70 degrees where I'm sitting. Triangle North, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Sherman Park. 70 degrees, feels like 70 degrees, no humidity. The high is 72 today with a low of 58. Sunset is at 8:35 tonight. So it's going to be gonna. Thank you for that, Babar. I appreciate it. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. Get it going.
Number 5.
That was weird. Let's try that again.
Number 5.
So Giannis and Bobby Portis are going to Miami. Next.
Number 4.
See, that was easy. That was a quick one, wasn't it? So if you go to North Avenue Walgreens, well, today is the last day. Story from WISN 12, a Walgreens store officially closed due to safety concerns, making it the 8th one in Milwaukee to shut down over the past 3 years. 27th and North Avenue store previously announced its closure, and all prescriptions have been transferred to Walgreens. 35th and Wisconsin. Illinois-based pharmacy chain confirmed the closure May 5th, and the residents, the closest location is now about 2 miles away. Walgreens spokesperson said the persistent safety challenges at the store did not allow it to operate substantially. Review of Milwaukee Police Department calls for service showed that the store had the police called 122 times last year, including shots fired in 33 cases of theft and robbery. So we can't wonder why it closed. It is what it is. And I think, we just need to deal with it. That's all I can say.
Number 3.
Believe it or not, 3-year-olds basically run the country. From Straight Arrow News, a problem you can see clearly coming is like still a problem. That's exactly what's happening to American colleges and universities when it comes to enrollment. Now think about this, and I never thought about it this way. The number of teenagers graduating from high school is expected to decline significantly over the next 15 years. That means fewer students to enroll in higher ed, less money coming into the schools. And Brian Alexander, a senior scholar at Georgetown University, told Straight Arrow News, SAN.com, most colleges and universities depend on student fees, tuition, room and board, keep the lights on, keep the doors open. So if the number of students starts to drop, problem's pretty clear. Now think about this. When the Great Recession hit in 2008, there's a drop in birth rates. In 2023, it hit its all-time low. Fewer births, fewer teens, fewer college students. Now think about that. If you're 3 years old today, in 15 years, oh wait, you had to be born to be 3 years old today. So that was 3 years ago, right? Those kids are now that were born in 2013 are now 3. In 15 years, they're going to graduate from high school. Are they going to go to college? By 2029, the number will be another 15%. By 2041, 500,000 students. You got declining birth rates. You got birth control, reproductive control, all those things. And now you're talking down. On top of that, International enrollment is down 62%. Hostility towards international students. So at what point do we start to look for an alternative? Do we start to look for an alternative? I don't know. I don't know whether or not we'll be able to find an alternative to school. But we've got to start looking for some kind of way to deal with it.
Number 2.
That was weird. He didn't play again.
Number 2.
There we go. There we go. Uh-oh, lost my story. See, I got distracted. It's all your fault. It's all, who am I going to blame today? Let me see who I'm going to blame today. Wait a minute. Quanda's on the airplane. It's Quanda's fault. It's Quanda's fault. From JS Online, Milwaukee police have to now report unreasonable use of forces by federal agents. Milwaukee Common Council now requires the MPD officers to intervene and report if they see unreasonable use of force by any other law enforcement officer, including federal agents. You're going to get yourself arrested if you do that. Common Council passed the measure today as part of its ongoing effort to address immigration operations in the city. They're not even here. Anyway, the measure is part of the Common Council's ICE Out package, which seeks to limit the impact of U.S. immigration and customs. Do you know what I think? I think if these people took their time to actually help the people that are victims here of crime, then we'd have a better city. But nah, they're not going to do that. They'd rather, oh, look at what we're doing. We are trying to help people. Oh, we're trying to. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. Well, but then again, that's our Common Council in Milwaukee. And just so you know it, traveling around the city, I've been cutting off places so I don't have to go because so much drama happens. I think Brady Street's off that limit, off that list too. I'm not going. I'm pretty much limited to a square block around my house.
Number 1.
If you haven't heard about it, one person died and 2 others were injured early this morning on Milwaukee's East Side. Police in a news release said the shooting happened around 1:52 a.m. in the 1600 block of North Van Buren. Police initially reported all 3 victims were injured and one of them critically, and they were taken to a local hospital. Medical examiner's office confirmed this afternoon one of them, 27-year-old Marquez Banyard, has died. Police are investigating the circumstances leading up to the shooting and searching for a suspect. In a statement shared on Instagram, a restaurant near the scene of the shooting urged residents of the neighborhood to provide any information they had to the police. Mango's Cafe said in the post, as Milwaukee enters the busy summer season, this tragedy serves as another reminder of the devastating impact gun violence continues to have on our community. Too many lives are being cut short. Too many families are left to endure unimaginable pain. Of course, anybody with information, contact Milwaukee Police at 414-935-7360 or contact Crime Stoppers if you want to remain anonymous. Here's the issue I'm having. People use guns. Guns don't just jump up and shoot themselves. We need to start working on the people in the neighborhood and not the gun itself. Because if it wasn't a gun, it would be a car. It would be a knife. It would be a fork. It would be a hammer. It would be a baseball. It would be so if you can't control yourself, if there's no self-awareness where you can control yourself, how would you expect somebody to get rid of a gun and say, not having a gun will make me act right? It'll just make them pick up something else. We need to dig down into our community and figure out what's causing this. What's causing a generation to believe that if you make me mad or you say something I don't like, instead of dealing with it or having a conversation about it or talking about it, you kill them. Is anybody going to fix it at its root cause? No, I don't think so. So you see, me ran over. It's Quanda's fault. If she hadn't got on the airplane, we would have got off before 5. I'm just saying. Let me check this chat because y'all been blowing it up. See, now I got to back up and see what all the stuff y'all was talking about. Anita said blonde is the hair color of preference. We talked about that. More attractive, I think. And I said no. Parking tickets? You mean driving tickets? Well, a parking ticket? I don't think so. I jacked everybody. Lucretia said, and speeding tickets. Lucretia said, my mother's best friend is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Italian. She told me. You believe that? Anita said, I appreciate this thought-provoking discussion. Thank you. I was talking about implicit bias earlier. Todd said, you don't know, you just heard. Then Kathleen said, where's your meetup? And then before I could answer, Todd said, top secret. That's right. Anita's driving, by the way. Let me see. Anita said, listening, can't chat. Drive safe. Babar said, drive safe. Todd said, blame the Altoid. Yeah, we both had the same kind of Altoids at the undisclosed location. Babar said the Uncommon Council is an eye-opener. Yeah, they are. We're making so much noise about ICE, but we're doing nothing to stop crime that's happening. Like, is that same group of people putting up this much effort to stop crime in Milwaukee? The shootings, the robbery, the thefts? No. ICE comes to town, and you're only doing it because you don't like Donald Trump. If you like Donald Trump, or if our former president Joe Biden sent them, you'd be welcoming them. Oh, they'll come in and help save us and help do this. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Anyway, Babar said, I knew it was Mango. Yep, that's who it was. As he said, wow, that's something you don't hear, a shooting on Van Buren. That's why I'm not going over there. Staying right here. Babar said, if you have to leave your house with a gun, just stay your butt at home. Todd said, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Yes, they do. And it's unfortunate. But what are we going to actually do about it? All you can do is deal with your circle. Those 5 most important people that impact your life. Make sure they're not acting foolish. Take care of your family. If you have an extended family, sure. But once you get 2 or 3 people out, you can't control people's behavior. Trying to control somebody else's behavior is what will get you in trouble. That's what will get you hurt. Trying to tell somebody else what to do. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way life is. But can you really mind your own business? Well, that's what the police are for. That's why you call them and have them show up and do their job. So, pretty interesting. Well, thanks for hanging with me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. 4th of July is coming up. When is 4th of July? It's on the 4th. 4th of July is on a Saturday. Maybe we'll have a meetup on a Sunday. Y'all want to have a meetup? Babar said, I'm shocked you did overtime today. I didn't do overtime. It comes up short or it comes up more. Just kind of go with it. Now, I can almost tell you Thursday is going to go over because we've got Black Book Thursday coming in. So we're going to have a great one. So want to say thanks. Make sure you let your friends know we're here. Make sure you share it. Send it to people. Send it to your family. Let people know we want to build an audience. We want to deal with some things that are happening in the city. As we get closer to elections, I'm going to be diving into what's going on with elections and what we're going to do about governor and many of these midterm elections. So want to say thank you. God bless. Take care. Make sure you check out Sherwin tonight from 7 to 8 o'clock right here on YouTube. Hugh's Views, Dr. Ken's Truth. I think between the two of us, you'll get everything you need in Milwaukee. Hey, God bless. Take care. Don't work too hard.
Quiet.
Oh, well, whatever. Get ahead. All right. Deuces. God bless. I'm out. And I forgot to say the poll. How do you feel about Giannis and Porter's trade? 42% don't care. 24% said sad. 24% said bye. 10% are happy. Ooh. Wow. Interesting.